From the parks and the cemeteries to the highway to the transfer station, Assistant Director of the DPW, Roby Whitehouse, is everywhere. And today she's here. Meet her next. Welcome back to the Your Yarmouth podcast.
Oh, it is a pleasure to be here. It's always great to see you, Lori.
You're the only guest that's been on here twice so far, so.
Wow.
But we love it when you come on because you're a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, thank you so much.
Some people might not know that you have been in Yarmouth for almost 3 decades. Is that true?
Gosh, that makes me feel so old, but it is very true. I'm in my 27th year, and I started off in our finance department, if you can believe it. I was a principal office assistant for the finance department when I first came here, and I audited bills and I did the payroll and really did everything that your finance department does. So gave me a great education into making sure that when I got out into the DPW that I did things right, that I did things correctly.
Where did you go from there? When you started there, then where did you go?
So I left the finance department and stepped right into public works. And the first division that I worked in was the cemetery division.
Okay.
So you were right on. And the facilities division was overseen by the director at that time, George Allaire, which many people may remember that name.
Yeah.
George Allaire was a great man here in the town of Yarmouth. He had large shoes to fill, but he wanted someone in the cemetery division that would participate in selling lots and really assisting our residents with making sure that their needs were met, in addition to the funeral homes, of course. So it was a very special time in my life. I learned a lot. I met a lot of wonderful people.
I'm sure you have so many stories and you've met everybody, which is it's an amazing career. So congratulations on that. Not that you're going anywhere anytime soon. I didn't want to allude to that. But we really appreciate the service and everything that you do for Yarmouth.
That's nice.
So when we talk about the DPW, there's so many responsibilities that department has. Can you explain briefly what they are? I know there's a ton, but.
Sure. Well, currently I oversee the cemetery, the parks division, the highway division, the facilities division, and the waste management facility.
Wow.
So those are the 5 divisions or 4 divisions. Technically, we call buildings and grounds 1. So we do lump those together. We also falls under the other divisions that fall under public works are the water division, the septic division, in the future, the wastewater division, engineering division, administration, and
it's a lot. I don't know if people realize how big it is.
Yeah, and I think that each one of those divisions does such a unique thing, but it is a big department, and I like to say it's the department with all the great toys.
Yes, yeah, you do have a lot of toys over there.
Yes, we do.
What are some day-to-day challenges that people may not know that the DPW faces?
Well, right along the same line, those toys break down.
Yep.
You know, and right now we have 1 mechanic. And we're struggling to keep all of those equipment up. So that's probably one of the big pieces is when equipment fails is we don't have a backup necessarily for that piece of equipment. And then some of the other struggles include personnel. We're currently down 5 drivers, and we're working very hard to hire drivers. We have some great positions open. We're interviewing all the time. We also have a couple of people who've been out with illnesses, and then there's vacations, and just
holidays.
Like any business. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, those are some of our biggest challenges, personnel-wise and equipment-wise. But I think that overall, it's a pretty smooth running machine. Absolutely, we know what we need to do, and we get it done.
So anybody looking for a job?
Yes, we're definitely
in public works. Log on to our website.
For sure. Check out the website. Look at those job descriptions. Yeah. We're definitely looking for those with commercial driver's license. I almost said construction licenses, but really those CDL drivers are the most important. And right now, this time of year is having those drivers to help us with snow and ice support.
I was going to say snowplow drivers, you're still looking for those.
We are.
Because I know we talked about that last time. Okay.
And we've had several snowstorms since then,
Yep.
so I'm not going to talk to you anymore, or I'm really hoping that this conversation leads to no snow.
So there's so many ways that residents can get their information about the projects that are happening, whether it's something on the highway or whether it's wastewater. But we also have something that we just launched. It's called See-Click Fix. So not only can residents, if they log on, they can go right to our website, they can pay bills, they can get permits. But there's something really special, I think, about this app. And they also can report things that happen directly to you. Can you explain that a little bit?
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. We've gone through training, and we've seen those See-Click Fix reports come into us with photographs, which is so helpful.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually had an opportunity to try it from the other side. So just today, I had an opportunity to sit for 5 minutes and think about what this benefit is to a resident. After all, I live here.
Yeah.
So I had a great photo of our parking lot at the Public Works Division at 74 Townbrook Road. So I took that and I sent it in to See-Click Fix and said, just checking to make sure my team, you guys are paying attention and that you see that, you know, hey, it snowed here back in December. And I got a quick response back, and it really was very easy, very smooth. And it's an immediate response. And then another follow-up response came through shortly after from the team saying, yes, we got your message. Thank you so much for reminding us. So it was great. Yeah. So a super easy tool.
So residents can go on and they can download the See-Click Fix app, and then they just search Yarmouth, and Yarmouth will come up, and they sign in, they get an account, and, you know, like we talked about, they can do anything from report a pothole or a tree that's down to just getting right to our website and paying bills. So it is a really great tool.
Yes.
What some other ways that residents can get informed about what's going on at the DPW? Can they just go to the website?
Yeah, I think that the website is a really great resource, and the new website is so much more vibrant. It really helps people. I think that the ability to contact people at Public Works, utilizing See-Click Fix is really beneficial. Asking questions. I know I get emails on a pretty regular basis asking questions about recycling, and I'm happy to help. I'm also getting a lot of questions about the construction that's going on, and we're happy to respond to those. I think the social media posts are really, really important. Identifying where the traffic concerns are to really give people that information up front. And those are, they're on our website, and they're also out there on social media. So if you're not following it, that's really helpful.
Yeah, we post those Friday mornings, and it's been helpful. It really has. Another thing I know that Yarmouth is working on is license plate readers. Yes. And can you explain where we are in that process and how that works?
Yeah, so at the disposal area, residents or anyone who wishes to use that facility has historically had to purchase a sticker. Yep. The sticker goes on the windshield. It must be on the driver's side, must be current, and we're visually looking for that. Things are changing. A license plate reader is going to be used exclusively at the disposal area. It will identify the vehicle. On the way in, it'll check the front plate, then it'll check the back plate. There's cameras on site, and it'll identify whether that person is qualified and registered to be on property. No more need to purchase a physical sticker.
Right.
You will just use your license plate. So what I think that they're, just to kind of take that one step further, it's going to be a process. It's going to be a transition to have people understand that you don't have to have a physical sticker.
Yep.
But we're already seeing great results. The team is absolutely thrilled with the fact that people are coming through. Their license plates are
So it's already happening right now.
Already happening. It's not live in that people still have stickers on their vehicles, but as soon as they purchase their new sticker, it's there. It's already working. We're seeing great success with it.
So I know technology, sometimes it makes people a little bit nervous. What do you say to the people that are like, oh, is that going to affect my privacy, or how does this work? Or
Sure, I'm happy to respond that any information any information that's provided from the license plate is exclusively the license plate number shared with the staff, and as it relates to the disposal sticker and the purposes at the disposal area. There is no other
need to
personal
worry.
information provided. any personal information any information that's provided is, in addition to that, would be possibly an address if education needs to be provided. So let's say someone comes in and repeatedly has been asked to get a sticker or to get a license plate reader. Gosh, you're just trying to figure out this technology with the right way to say it. But getting access using their license plate. If they've been asked multiple times to do so, we may send them a letter, and that information is the extent of the personal information that we're afforded.
Understandable. So that's exciting. What else do you have on the horizon of the DPW that we should know about? Anything that you're excited about? Any future plans?
We've been talking a long time about the fact that our construction and demolition area needs to be renovated, and we are getting very close to that project moving forward. It's not a huge project in the grand scheme of things, but it is one that's been really mulled around quite a bit, and we're very excited about that project moving forward. Some of the pieces of the wall are distinguishing, they're just disintegrating.
Yeah.
Muddle my words here, sorry about that. But we're excited to see that project moving forward. So I will say other projects that we'll be working on is kind of off to the side, but facilities related. We've had some other things going on. We have a couple of roof projects that we're currently working on.
You have a lot.
We have some toilets being replaced in the police department. Seems kind of silly, but these things are all projects that are going on, that are more towards our facilities division or our parks division. Yeah.
So you've been with Yarmouth for, like I said, almost 30 years. Is there a moment in your career that really shaped you, that you really said, wow, I'm so blessed to be working in this department for this town with these people? Something that's happened either in the past or more recent?
Yeah, there's been a lot of things, but my memory jumps right to an incident that took place just recently, and a tragic event with the trench collapse here in Yarmouth, and it wasn't a good situation certainly, but I would say that the performance of the highway employees who were on site, obviously the water department did an amazing job, but I looked to someone who really was not prepared to deal with this type of scenario and how he performed. I'm really grateful to know that instead of running in the other direction, he went right for it.
And he wasn't a first responder.
Well, technically, public works employees are considered first responders, but in this particular case, he wasn't prepared nor trained. Peter Birch, driving that amazing vac truck, was there on site all day, and he was supported by a couple of other employees as well as a couple of other truck operators. But I think I keep coming back to that conversation with him that he walked away thinking, I don't know if we're going to be able to save this guy. And his comment to me was, when he saw him move, it just made his heart skip. He really was just so focused. So that really stands out. And obviously it had nothing to do with me, but it definitely had to do with an experience that we shared.
Yeah, it's amazing when something catastrophic happens, how people rally together and really show up. And I can see how that would shape you and move you. Yeah. Because we saw the same thing, everybody working together and just putting everything aside and just trying to do the best they can. And you guys really did an amazing job that day.
They did. They really did. Yeah. It makes me very proud. Obviously, the men and women who work for Public Works do so because they love their jobs.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the things we really work really hard to encourage is that positive enthusiasm and focus. And it changes the way you go to work every day.
I'm sure it does. Well, your role is so important, but I know that you are involved in so many organizations. Like, you are busy. Like, how does she have time? So explain to us what you do when you're not at the DPW.
Well, my husband has asked me repeatedly to stop saying yes. So I am a member.
You're not that person.
I'm not that person. I'm not going to lie. I have really enjoyed my time as a member of the Yarmouth Rotary.
Yeah.
And we are very active, and it is an amazing organization, not only the worldwide, organization of Rotary, but this community's Rotary Club is so involved in so many things. I'm also on the board of directors for an organization called Bright Lights, Cape Cod Bright Lights,
Okay.
and they are really reaching out into the community to try to help as much as possible. Currently, they're providing some supplies for our schools in terms of the nurses and who need some backup. We're
Okay.
also providing lunches for many, many elementary age students. I'm also a member of American Public Works Association, which you may have heard Jeff Kobe recently
Yes.
received an award.
Received an award, yeah.
I am on a national committee for membership engagement.
Okay,
And,
here we go.
actively involved in that national board. And that committee does a lot of work and meets on a regular basis, all virtually,
Yeah.
or I should say mostly virtually. But I do travel with that organization. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to be in Canada in March, and I'm going to have to pass that one up. But I do enjoy that. I'm also the president of the Mass Highway Association, which is an organization of highway superintendents and engineers, and we focus extreme amount of energy on education and supporting and networking with our fellow employees throughout the state of Massachusetts. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's 2 or 3 other things
Is
that
there
I'm
more?
probably forgetting. I'm on the board of directors for Self-Reliance,
Of
which is
course
an
you are.
organization that is a not-for-profit promoting education for those who need assistance with energy efficiency. And I think that's about it. That's probably all I'm going to talk about right now. But I think that suffice it to say, I really enjoy getting involved in things.
Yeah.
And for me, giving back, I think becoming a public works employee really helped me learn what a benefit it is to me to give back to our community and to those who are in need.
Well, I'm feeling like a slacker right now, but that really was amazing. And you really are amazing. And we are
Thank you
so
so
lucky
much.
to have you. And thank you so much for what you do for the community. And thank you for coming on this podcast yet again. You are a wealth of knowledge. I hope people really, learn something from, what we talked about today. So thank you. And for everybody listening, remember, if you want to download the See Click Fix app, you can go to the App Store, find See Click Fix, put in Yarmouth, and download your app, and all the information will be right there. And if you are interested in anything about wastewater or anything else that's going on at the DPW, please log on to our website. All that information will be there available for you as well. And then don't forget, you can follow us on our website, YouTube channel, all our social media platforms, and you can find this podcast anywhere you get your podcast. As always, thank you for listening, and have a great day, Yarmouth.